not show transparency and there was no accountability. I believe that the police officers here, that this board and everybody else, including myself, if they're wearing the uniform of the Fairhope Police Department, driving a car of the Fairhope Police Department, and doing everything as a Fairhope police officer, then it's imperative that any off-duty jobs come through our office, that there is some sort of, again, accountability on the part of the police department to ensure that our officers are doing everything correct, including 1099s or anything else like that. And that was what I came to this council originally. That was one of the reasons, I believe, why many people finally said, yes, we're getting away from the good old boy system. So that's what I believe needs to be done clearly. And as far as checking with Nancy or anything else, it's my understanding that although this practice isn't being done because it's never been done before, doesn't mean it can't be. And again, I think that when it comes time to retirement issues, such as matching funds, that's something that this board may want to consider, but at the time, it's not necessity. It's not a necessity.
Would it be possible to do this like we provide officers for the Grand Man Run? And just...
Again, if Mobile Police Department does it right across the bay, and they do it. So with many of these events. So my suggestion is that at least have them do that. Now in the interim, I've got to tell you, I can't take a step in this direction as far as continuing with this account. So, and I hate to put that on you all, but at the same time, I need another resolve to this thing. And maybe it is, while this is kind of up in limbo, is to go ahead and continue funneling the money through, but just having the individual person pay the officer, so at least we have some account of it. But that's only good in the short term. In the long term, we again need to follow what other agencies do throughout the entire country, and that is through the same methodology that I proposed to you.
There is a resolution that's on the books right now, which is the methodology that the chief refers to in his email today, and that methodology is a resolution that has been passed by the city council of the city of Fairhope at some prior time. I don't remember how long ago or anything, but that methodology was the methodology that has been in place for this, and it is a matter of public record, a resolution for this idea of a Fairhope police officer on his off time working for a private individual and being paid by that private individual. Like, you know, for a wedding or something, that's what we're talking about.
Right, but it does not articulate how that money comes in or anything else. And that's why, again, this city needs to ensure that everybody, myself as well as the rest of my officers, are doing what's supposed to be done. And none of this is done under the table or anything else.
So the only thing I understand now, Chief, is the fact that Ms. Wilson says that they can't do it.
I've talked to the Hugh Evans, lead, the ethics attorney, counsel, and he advised me until they read everything and make sure that we're doing things proper, not to accept any money into the city until they've researched and come up with what we're doing or not doing. The original 99 resolution that was passed by the council in 99 went by state law. And basically, over those years, the chief, and I agree with the chief, things, you know, you have different chiefs and different procedures and things got out of kilter. The chief and I found out it wasn't correct and we went in there and resolved it. We couldn't agree on the methodology of how to do it, but I didn't feel like none of us needed to be in trouble, so I asked for an opinion on how to resolve it. And we should have a ruling here, I was told, sometime this week.
Okay. You see the chief's problem. What is your suggestion to this problem, Mayor?
In the interim, just do like he's doing, but have the organization write the check to the individual officers and then he can keep it, and until we actually see the procedure in place, and then we can go from there.
Does that fit with you, Chief?
That works for me on a temporary basis.
And that
Again,
road's on the books.
Yeah, that's kind of what we're doing now, but until we get together and we find out the correct procedure.
yeah, that rule's not on the books. I think that's a methodology that I think we can go ahead and go forth with on a temporary basis again. A permanent solution to this is necessary, and that's not the way to, I don't think it's the way you want me to do business.
So right
Especially
now,
in order to answer questions such as what Mr. Ford said earlier.
so right now we need a temporary fix.
So,
Yeah, I just want to say that the procedure that is set forth in Resolution 649-4,
49.
is a procedure that is written about by the Alabama League of Municipalities, and there's an article about how to do this, and that's what that resolution tried to follow that article. So there is some historical precedent about this, and I think that we just need to take that into consideration.
So the bottom line, what we're trying to figure out here though is, if the mayor asks for that, what we're doing is right or wrong, why should we not wait until we hear what's right or wrong and then change the procedure or keep it in place?
Because I may have someone request someone for a wedding tomorrow, and Mr. Ford, with all due respect, if there's the slightest possibility that I'm doing something incorrect, I'm going to fix it, or I'm going to make sure that I'm not doing it. That's it. That's it in a nutshell.
I understand that, and I appreciate that. What I'm saying is, if you're going to hear something in 1 or 2 days, why are we rushing to do something?
I think the chief wants tonight to be able to do his procedure, but have the people write the check directly to the officer that he assigns to do the off-duty work, and so he won't be actually receiving any funds in the short term, and then come back and amend the 99 resolution, I think is what I'm hearing.
Is that legal?
Not in line with what you were hearing before. If that's
Right.
your recommendation,
That's
his
right.
recommendation, then
Is that legal, Mr.
I
Webb?
mean, you know, the 99 resolution was based on, like I say, the Alabama League of Municipalities recommendations. If we start modifying that, then I don't know the answer. It depends on what the modification is.
that's 1999's recommendation?
That's right.
Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Yeah. And that was that you paid the officers directly, and the police chief was sort of like, that's right, and the police chief responsible because he's a salary employee, because you're not supposed to use the paid or employees to run the off-duty work. So that was some of the questions, but the chief needs to know who is authorized to do off-duty work, and he decides that himself.
Do we need to do a resolution to say let's follow the 99 resolution, the 1999 resolution, just for
Sounds
an
like
interim
it's already in
fix?
place.
It's
We don't need
already
to do
in place.
anything.
The 99 resolution, if that's correct, what, 649-99?
99.
Okay. That resolution is a broad resolution that allows for off-duty work. Pretty much addresses just on a broad scale, has nothing to do with specifics. This addendum to that resolution will articulate my desire to have the city go ahead and take monies out so that there's a specific method for monies coming into the city, paying the police officers, paying their taxes, and moving forward. Now, having said that, in the interim, I suggest that, like I said, I'll agree to, on a temporary basis, to have them rights come to me, but they will also pay the officer directly in this interim period.
Right.
And if that's
following basically the.
that's following basic, yes, that is following basically the policy with the addition that now I'll be included in that. So I have no problem.
Mr. King, ready, anything? Any other discussion?
So do we need to amend the resolution to just say that the police chief will select the officers?
I
Is that
think
you're
what we
saying?
need to do for right now is I think that instead of for immediate consideration, we give this some time, let's say until the next council meeting, to have the city look into my proposal, to check with Mobile, and to follow the same procedures that they use for many of these events.
So then we'll wait till you come back. Yes, sir.
Chief, excuse me a second. Mobile County SO, not Mobile PD, and I want to point that out because I'm the one that made that contact, because I know the news media is probably going to print this. Mobile County SO is the one that, I don't know about Mobile PD, Mobile County SO, for some of their off-duty events, goes through the finance department.
Okay, Myra.
So with this surface now, are you satisfied that we wait until the
Just
next
leave it the
meeting
way
to
it is.
actually?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you. Any other business?